Hello and welcome to the last day of Booktubeathon 2017. The challenge for today is to talk about a book, story that's close to your heart. You can argue that Harry Potter shaped my life because I grew up with it, but I don't want to talk about Harry Potter because I feel like my feelings toward it aren't particularly unique. I don't think there's anything I can add to this conversation. What I'm going to talk about instead is Diana Wynne Jones. When I was a kid, my dad used to drag me around downtown every Friday to go to secondhand bookstores. And one day I found Matilda and the Witches by Roald Dahl. They weren't the first books I ever read, but I will credit them for my love of reading. I must have read both of them dozens and dozens of times. I continued going with my dad to secondhand bookshops. Later on, I went again with my dad downtown and found these three books by Diana Wynne Jones. Witch Week, Charmed Life, and The Lives of Christopher Chant. I was enamored with these books and I read them all dozens and dozens and dozens of times. But unlike Matilda and the Witches, these didn't limit me to just reading. I'd always liked writing and I enjoyed it a lot, but I never really considered it seriously as a career until I read Diana Wynne Jones's books. At which point I started writing what was basically fan fiction. It had shitty OCs and ridiculous plots that made no sense and no continuity, and at the end of the third grade when my computer that I shared with my brother crashed, everything I wrote was lost. But the truth is that's probably for the best because I bet it was terrible. I've wanted to be a writer ever since. I write all the time. I carry a notebook with me wherever I go. I send emails to myself with ideas. I have dozens and dozens of unfinished stories. I publish fan fiction and I'm writing a podcast. My whole life was shaped by the fact that I read Diana Wynne Jones. I owe so much to her. Most people know The Moving Castle and have read or seen the Miyazaki movie, but I will never ever forget reading The Lives of Christopher Chant again and again and again. So that was my story, and I hope you had a great Booktubeathon. I know I did.